What's going on YouTube? Modeling up back at you with the final build video for the Kulwicki Hooters Goof diecast replica car that I've built here. So definitely have some interesting stories with the rest of the build. Obviously didn't get too much. I will go through kind of what I've went through and done in this. So first off, went ahead, got all the decals applied. You would have seen that in my video on using the kit decals. So for the most part, everything went down really smooth. Had to use a couple of decals like the NASCAR from a third party, but it's just because they weren't on the original kit and the kit decal, so I couldn't use them, obviously, because they weren't there. There is also one decal missing. That is for, I believe it is right guard here. It's that black one. I looked through all of the decals that I owned. I didn't have it, so I was like, you know what? I'm just not going to mess with that. A couple of things happened. One thing that really irritated me, you'll notice some really nasty looking paint down here. As I was applying this number 7, my fingernail slipped in and grabbed the number 7 and ripped off the bottom. That was not a fun time when that happened. So went ahead, got the paint put back on, the orange, and then did about as good of a mask job with the bottom of the number 7 as I could. Obviously, if you know it's there, you'd see it, but setting down on a shelf like this, you'll never notice it, which is how it'll mostly be sitting. Again, overall, like the way that they came out. You can see a little bit of the yellowing, if I can get this to focus in. Like with the classic logo here, there's still just a hint of yellowing. Same with a hint of yellowing here on the Hooters side decals as well. Obviously, this decal kind of had bulged. At this point, it's actually locked in by the clear, so I'm not going to even mess with that. Going on to the clear, I used gravity colors. To note, again, as I've said 1,001 times, go with the EU or the Spain version of gravity colors. Don't go with the US unless you want to wait 6 months to get your colors. Personal experiences. Now, granted, that's been a couple of years ago. Hopefully, they've gotten better, but yeah. The one thing that I still have trouble with it is it almost acts as if the color does not, or the clear does not go on as smooth, or it leaves like little bubbles. And I'll try to get it specifically right behind this tire. Yeah, there we go. You can see the bubble. There's also one bubble that's really kind of noticeable here on the front of the 7. That is not an air bubble under the number 7. That is in the clear coat itself. I'm still working it out, but I did find that by using the Tamiya 600 sanding sponges, using that wet to really kind of start to smooth it out, and then 3000 to get rid of a lot of the indentions, things like that, really took care of that. So beyond that, once I got done with that and got it down to that, I have in my little cheap electric drill, which is this one here, used Mother's Ultimate Compound. Let me zip this up. So I used, I'm sorry, not Mother's, but Meguiar's Ultimate Compound to really go through, clean up all of the scratches, and really get it most of the way to this like perfect gloss, or pretty close to perfect gloss. And then I use the Ultimate Polish again in my mini drill here to go ahead and polish up the car itself, and to really what I think is probably one of the nicest shines that I've got on a kit. I'm super excited about the future of using that clear now that I've kind of got the technique down to get it to this point. So let me go ahead and set these back up out of the way. So but yeah, I mean, I'm really love the way this kit came out. Now, there are a couple of things that I'm still not sure if I'm going to leave or what I'm going to do. As I was using the polish, the very soft cotton brush would grab like on the edge and flip down. Well, when it flipped down a couple of times, it knocked the teeth that were spinning, these teeth here that lock the chuck into place, knocked those into the car. I found my simplest fix, and what I will do going forward for myself was I just wrapped it in some masking tape. I did then knock it a couple more times, not intentionally, but again, it, as it's spinning at high revolutions, it just grabs, twists, and flings it down. But just simple, masking tape, a couple of loops of that created just enough of a cushion that it didn't cause damage. However, that was after I had put a nice little gouge, you can see right there on the roof, and then two of them are on the hood. So there's a couple right here on this side, and then the really noticeable ones is right here on the letters. Still debating what I'm going to do. I found online a donor kit for fairly cheap. I think it was like $8, $10. Or a donor body, I should say, and hood. Seeing I do have the Power Slide decals for the 91 and 92 season, I do have an extra brown shaded Hooters Restaurant hood decal that I could use. I'm still debating if I want to go ahead and spend the money, get it, and replace it, or if I just want to leave it as is. Again, I've got the decal, so it's just finding a hood, and these old monogram kits are, dime a dozen, so not too bad. So overall, love the way it turned out. Again, the bottom is pretty much just plain white, which again, if you look on the bottom of the diecast, that's what it would have been. There's a few, obviously, discrepancies in between the two. The hood pins, if I had thought about it, should have actually been included on the body, because again, they were just little white, they were just molded in dots that were painted white. But I kind of like the little contrast with that. Also, again, the side sponsors here, they're the wrong size if we're going to go 1-to-1 with this one here. But again, that's not really the point of this. The Goodyears, just happened to realize I didn't mention that. The Goodyear on this is sprayed on with a stencil from, let me get this out. It might not be the right stencil, but MBM from over in Germany. Took a very long time for me to get these in. Again, just due to COVID shipping, nothing that the company could have done. It was just COVID hit right after I bought them. But they have multiple types. They are amazing. They have the Goodyears. I have the Hoosier tires as well, and really give that good look to the car. So, like I said, overall, I am extremely happy with how this came out. It's actually interesting because looking on the camera, I think it's due to the black background, the orange really is popping as almost a fluorescent, where it actually is more of just a neutral orange. It's not like a really fluorescent orange, which is what I wanted and what to me looks right for a Alan Kulwicki car. So yeah, that has been the build series for this one. I'm debating on what my next build is going to be, but whatever it will be, I will try to get some sort of series up for you guys, showing you some of the tips and tricks that I have going on. So hope you guys have enjoyed the ride. No pun intended there, but definitely looking forward to the next one. Talk to you guys later.